like I said, if somebody would have told me in 2010 that you was gonna be the cake lady, I would have laughed at them.
I would have definitely laughed.
Hey, thank God for another day. Hey, I know we could be another way. Hey, pray. Thank God for another day. Hey, I know we could be another way. Hey, yeah.
For real, you gotta amp your girls up.
That's right. Be a girl's girl.
Yeah. I had to learn how to do that.
I'm still getting there.
I know, but all your friends thugs anyway. I know all your friends.
I'm still getting there. Look, I'm just an isolated person.
See,
regardless,
Jazz.
yeah.
Them some thugs. They are not really girly girls.
None of us.
They real.
Right.
Okay. We recording already, right? Doggone, y'all. Why do I do this every week? Hey, y'all. It's your girl, Jessica S. Smith, and I want to welcome you guys to the podcast, Jessica S. What did I just say? Jessica S. Smith. Why am I repeating myself? Just as the podcast where we create a safe space for influencers to decompress, have fun, and guess what? Just as I am super excited today because y'all know that list I always talk about. It's somebody here from the list. They here from the list, okay? And they are from the best side, okay? The west side, all right? West side. But before I introduce the woman of God, Desiree.
Hey.
Desiree.
What's up, y'all?
Desiree.
Hey.
She on the mic, but not on the camera.
You know.
Yeah. If somebody wants to invest another camera into this platform, please do, because I know y'all be sick of it.
How you know they be
just
sick of
hearing
it?
the voice.
I
like,
think you be
but
sick.
y'all looking at me.
You just sick
I
of
hear
it.
you. Y'all don't say it in the comments, but I hear you.
All right.
I hear you. Y'all, the woman that we have here, the guest that we have here today, woo, if drip was for sale, she would sell it, okay? If creativity was on a platter, she would have it on a silver one, because, baby, listen, I don't think that there's anything that she touches that doesn't look good, that she exposes that don't look good. Baby out here outsiding with her creativity, okay? I have none other than Birmingham's finest, west side of Birmingham's finest, the Amber Jones. Y'all give it up for Amber Jones! Woo!
Welcome in.
My girl is a creative, event planner, designer. I don't know, and I'm still learning that space. But no, most of y'all know her for being the cake lady.
The cake lady.
The cake lady. But you bake them cakes.
I do. Bake them, stack them, doing something else. Everything.
But stack them. I don't understand how you do that. But we're gonna get into. Let me not go too fast, because sometimes I take the people too fast.
It's all right.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited too.
Oh my god.
It's a new avenue for me, so
Because
I'm a
people
little
don't know
nervous.
really your voice.
Right.
They-
I'm not a
They know
talker.
your writing skills, because
Right.
you write on Facebook. If they read, they read.
And
take time to
I'm
read.
very poetic.
Poetic and the justice. Okay, like I love it. Like you had a whole '90s theme, and everybody was looking like poetic justice.
Right.
'90s theme birthday party. Was that your 30th?
Yeah, my 30th.
Oh my goodness! What made you want to have a '90s theme birthday party
Well,
in your backyard?
in my backyard.
And invited people. You invited the people.
I'm a thing person. Everything has to be coordinated. Everything has to be, just decorative. So it's just something that came to mind today. Like, well, not that day, but that year. Like, I want to do a 90s cookout, and it turned out very good.
It was beautiful.
It was.
I wish I came.
And my husband even dressed up.
Listen, shout out to your husband, because y'all thick and thin, twin. Where have you been? Like that's y'all. Nobody loves me like you. Like if it was an example, y'all would be it, because y'all been riding
For the longest.
Y'all been
It's
riding.
13, going on 14 years together. Married, it'll be 8 years this year. So
Wow, y'all got 3 kids.
3 beautiful kids.
They all look alike.
just alike.
They
Can't
just
deny.
my baby daddy. You can't. You ain't negating.
I
none
may
of
can
them.
deny, but he can't deny.
No, they're just my baby daddy.
Yeah.
You know they're yours because you had them.
Right. Right.
Listen, it be like that sometimes. Sometimes they had a strong genes. I wouldn't know it yet because I don't have none. I'm a dog mom. But yeah, not yet. You know,
It's coming. It's coming.
We gonna wait patiently.
Look, you got nieces and nephews, so
you already know, and they keep me in check,
right?
Okay, because both of y'all got 3 kids, both of y'all. Anyway, I'm talking to her like she my friend, because y'all.
Look, we
listen. Childhood, Brown Elementary, first place I met her. I had a crush on Matthew Covington during that time. You know what I'm saying?
Summer camp.
I'm saying it on the camera today. Him is still fine. Shout out to Matt, man. He was so nice. He was so nice. But you, vibe, it's always been chill, always been the basketball player. I remember when we had breaks, she would always want to go to the court. And so it was interesting to me to see you transition from the basketball player. Because first, let me acknowledge this. Fairfield High School, wasn't it the first woman? The very first.
In history.
2010 championship basketball. I don't know the division. So the 5A, right? They won the championship, and I was there. Oh, baby, I was there. Because y'all was playing somebody in Montgomery, right?
Yeah, Carver Montgomery.
Listen, that game was so good. That game was so good. So this girl really, like, when I say loving basketball, that's her husband, like the coach. Like, loving basketball, like, reenactment. Yeah. Seriously. Like, so it was so interesting to see you transition from the hoop girl, who you still are, right? Right. To the cake lady. So can we talk about that transition, what that looked like? How did you even get into baking?
Well, to be honest, it's an art. So I can say I have been an artist all my life. That's something.
That's some poetic justice type of stuff.
That's
some Erykah Badu stuff. I'm an artist and I don't.
And I'm sensitive about mine. But no, seriously, I have been an artist all my life. You know, I always been a sketch artist. I always drawing, always writing poems. So basically, cakes are just that avenue of art. I went to school for art, which that's a long story, but you know
we got time.
Okay, well I'm gonna get into it.
You know, she was trying to be modest. She was like, "That's a long story."
It is. It's kind of a long story.
We trying to get to know you.
But long story short, of course I played basketball all of my life. I went to college, went to Shelton State, won the championship there. Went to nationals. We ranked 6th in the nation for that. After Shelton, I went to AUM. In AUM, I transferred with a false dream. You know, a lot of girls these days playing basketball, and they just feel like basketball gonna get them everywhere.
Yeah.
And when I got to AUM, it was my stopping point. You know, the coach sold me a false dream, told me, well, we got your curriculum up here. You know, you're gonna be doing, I was supposed to be doing architect. And I can't really blame it all on him, but just, you know, being blindsided by a lot of things. Yeah. I was supposed to be in the architect field, which I wasn't. So I was carrying around a sketchbook every day and a artist bag full of oil paint and full of paintbrushes, something that I wasn't even supposed to be into. Every day I'm drawing, even though I like to draw, but it was a hobby. It's not something I wanted to major in. Yeah. And so I kind of figured it out once I got to that December, the ending of the semester, like, this not for me. Like, what am I doing? Like, I like to draw, but I don't want nobody to make me draw. So that kind of is how it's narrated as me being an artist and just feeling that being an artist, you know. Someone to push you to have some type of gimmick of saying, hey, this is what you're supposed to do, and that's not what I was supposed to be doing. So long story short, I wound up pregnant, had my first child. Still, I went to UAB, left AUM, went to UAB, still was doing art, stopped doing art as far as the major, and started majoring in engineering. I was supposed to do civil engineering, which is still dealing with architect. Right. And still dealing with design and buildings, you know, things of that nature. Stopped doing it, got tired, got pregnant again.
Baby, you was having them babies.
Having them back to back. Shout out to my man. But
baby, because you love your man, because that's the result.
Right.
Being fruitful.
Right. What was being fruitful before we were supposed to, but we wind up getting married. But as I was saying, I went to UAB. Civil engineering was my first major there. Got pregnant again. And then I went to my advisor, and we got on the fast-paced graduation track where I just wanted to graduate. So I wound up getting a degree in just a regular degree, general studies, and my minor was in what was it in? Forget that part. But anyways, I can't think about it.
Before you move past that part, why did you just say, okay, I'm gonna do the general degree?
Studies? Well, in this time, I was in school for about 6 years. So having a child, then pregnant again, walking around campus. Y'all know how big UAB is.
Yeah.
Walking around campus pregnant, just trying to have that goal set of saying, I'm going to graduate. And it was hard. It was very hard, Then I was working at Foot Locker, not making any money, trying to have children, maintain a lifestyle, and it just wasn't working. So I was like, I just want to graduate. I want to breathe. And I couldn't breathe. Everything was just on top of me. So that happened. So during the time before graduation, actually it was the year 2000, I want to say 16, it was 16 because this was before a death happened. I wound up doing some strawberries, just making some desserts at home. And I wound up doing some strawberries, and that was a total hit. And I had a friend do some taste testing. And after that, we was like, let me sell some of these. So to be honest, it started off with a strawberry, if y'all could believe that. I never baked a day in my life. I started off doing treats. Doing strawberry shortcakes. Well, we call them strawberry crunch berries. I started off doing those, and after that, I started off just doing candy apples, pretzels, all those baby shower treats. Started off doing those.
Wait, hold up. She said all of those baby shower, because they good at the baby shower. I love baby shower chicken salad. If you don't have chicken salad,
meatballs, baby shower, pasta salad, all that.
So do you cook that too?
I do.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about that later.
But I wound up doing those, and someone requested me to do a cake, a Tweeterberg cake, and this is someone I went to school with. So of course we had kind of a trust with relationships. So she just wanted me to do a cake, and I was like, I've never done a cake before, but I could try. So I tried. And the Tweeterberg cake, now that I'm kind of skilled right now, I'm looking at it, I'm like, dog, that was an ugly cake.
but you tried, dog.
I tried my best.
You put your best foot forward.
And after that, that's how it just eventually evolved. And, the Lord will put you through so many avenues in life. And just to, correspond with what I went through, with art not being something for me, and then me being able to paint on a cake. All of a sudden, I'm like, you have to pay attention to those lessons and those seasons of life. So that's how it all started.
I'm so glad that you brought that up because, like I said, if somebody would have told me in 2010 that you was going to be the cake lady, I would have laughed at them.
I would have definitely laughed.
Because you are very much so, I won't even say out of your element, but God literally has brought you into a space where you even had to learn something about you. Like it's just so beautiful how Desiree, it's so beautiful how God would make you think that you're about to do something, or he'll allow you to just go down a road just so you can have the tools in your toolbox so you can use it for what you actually gonna be doing.
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what, girl, you preaching.
Girl,
that's exactly what happened.
I told you when I spoke a little tongue earlier.
He in the room because definitely, like, I would have never thought, first of all, to look back as an adult and say, what do I want to be when I, grow up?
Yeah.
Basketball, I was all about basketball. I could have sworn I was going to the WNBA. I mean, that's an unrealistic thought, but that's what I thought I was doing.
Let's talk about that because I really, when I'm bringing up this basketball thing, y'all, like, when I tell you I'm not over exaggerating when it's the love and basketball thing, and it's not just because of her husband, it's really because when I met her, like, that's all this girl talked about. This woman, guy, I'm saying girl because this is like a friendly conversation, but this is all Amber used to, like, literally breathe. And to see you on the outside looking in, it looks like, I'm just gonna tell you, that you just obeyed God, and it was, I won't say it was effortlessly because I know your struggle has been a building process, but you were willing to let that go to be who you needed to be. And then it's beautiful. I'll kind of fast forward the story. Your daughter,
the circle of life.
Child. Oh my God, I could cry right now. I could cry right now because I know that was such a love. Like that was your first love.
Right.
I know you love your babe.
Yeah.
But Spalding.
Like seriously,
Spalding.
I cried. I'm not a crier. Like it takes a lot for me to cry. Like, as you said, like I'm hard, very hard on the outside. And when I made the decision to stop basketball, like I cried. Like it was heartbreaking. It tore me up. And then that month after I left and found out I had a child, like it was a whole different path of life. Like what am I to become a mama right now? Like these days, these kids thinking having baby. I'm not gonna say these kids because I'm still young, but I'm a mom now, so I'm gonna say these kids.
Say it.
These kids think having babies at an early age is the lifestyle, and you're still a child. You're still a child at 20, 21. You're still in your parents' house. You're still trying to figure out what you're gonna do after college. After high school, what you're gonna be when you get to college. Like it's now that I've had my kids, they're out the way. I can speak on it and say I would have waited before I had kids, but no, God really, he said, all right, I'm finna put you right here in life and see how you go. I'm gonna see how you obey. And no, I didn't obey all the time. And it was a hard, rocky road, especially with just saying, what is a cake? Like, how I supposed to bake a cake? I never baked a cake a day in my life. Like, I don't know a recipe. My mom, of course, she did pound cakes, red velvet cakes, those specialty cakes. But as far as like decorating cakes, the effort it takes to put into it, the struggle it takes to put into it, to fulfill a order and a customer just like, yes, I love it. Or a customer like, no, I don't like it, something is off about it. Like, who am I to do this? Like, people think it's just a minor thing just to bake a cake and decorate. That's a task.
Not your cakes. First of all, we hired the woman of God for my mama's birthday party. And the cake was good, okay? Wasn't nothing left behind, okay? The cake was good. It was as simple as we wanted it to be because she can do something very simple and she can do something very extravagant. Right. And some of the stuff like making the dollars in the cake, the patience to have for that, I don't. I got ADHD. I really think I'm self-diagnosed. I got ADHD. The cake been burned up. Yeah. Okay, so you talked about people think it's easy. Let's talk about the process because I always hear people say, "Well, it's expensive," and I can go to Publix. Well, go to Publix then. Right. Go to Sam's. Do what you got to do for you. Okay, y'all get on my nerves. Let's talk about it. Let's get real. I'm saying what you can't say, so we're finna get it off the chest. All right. So let's explain what's the process for because one, we say that you didn't originally think that you was gonna do this. Your mama make pound cakes and all that stuff like that, but that's cake. That's you can buy pound cake and all that stuff like that. Right. Maybe not your mama pound cake from Publix, but. Right. Same thing, but your cakes are very specific, right? And so from the taste to the look, can we go through the process because it don't just look good because you got cakes out there that look good, but they trash, right? And I done had them. They stale. They done been in the freezer for 3 or 4 days, and they want you to eat it, and they want you to spend $185. Why did I pay that money? But that's obviously I had experience like that, but we're gonna stay on your experience because your cake is good.
Well, I can say, this is what I always tell people. I'm a professional, but I'm not a professional. So by saying that, I know my work. I know what I can do, and I know what I can explain. So I'm going to explain it as best as I can. However, if it's another cake artist watching this and saying...
Don't try it on my life. Please don't try it on my...
Don't.
Keep your comment to yourself.
But no, seriously. I follow instructions, basically. I don't have like a specific recipe. Of course, I add my special ingredients, but I don't have a specific recipe as to say, well, this is how you got to do this in order to get this desired taste. That's not me. I know with red velvet cake, of course, you're going to add a little vinegar and buttermilk to get that, grandma taste. With chocolate, a chocolate cake, some people may say add sugar. I add brown sugar, So it's just different methods. Whatever works for you, but that's what works for me. So as far as the price process, it's a never-ending game with price. Sometimes they'll go up, sometimes they'll go down. It's just life. That's with life. That's with anything, with eggs, with milk and butter. People saying that's too much for a cake with...
Eggs, $6.
And this is the problem. This is the issue. You book a cake with me.
Yeah.
They may think you're the only person booking a cake with me. So why do I have to pay for everybody else's eggs and butter and sugar that's going into the cake? Well, of course, I'm not just going to make one cake for that week. I'm going to make a, standard setting amount of cakes so, I can store, and then cakes are to be frozen, but you're not going to give nobody a frozen cake. So
Right.
I just wanted to explain, you said somebody, about being 3 to 4 days old. Of course you're going to bake a cake, and cakes are bread. If you take bread out the refrigerator, you can't eat it immediately. Of course it's going to be hard. You got to let it get to room temperature. I have had this conversation so many times with, especially in the beginning of my cake baking days, people saying, I'm just going to be real. Sometimes say it was dry. Well, what was dry about it? Tell me, what was dry? I can't really explain. It was just dry. It didn't taste like a bakery cake. Well, bakeries bake with commercial products.
I was just about to say that.
They bake with powdered eggs. A home-based baker can use more of a, standard eggs, standard flour, standard milk. Commercial bakeries can't do that. They can't, use shell eggs. They have to use bagged eggs. They can't use.
There's such thing as a bagged egg.
Yeah, powdered eggs.
When you learn something new every day.
If you go to IHOP and ask for, they say you want it scrambled or powdered. Yeah.
Amber.
So not scrambled, but shelled or powdered. So you have the choice of eating a powdered egg, or you have the choice of eating, a shell egg.
See.
But this is where people fail to realize, like, with food, especially with processed food, every day you're eating, like, people like, you don't wear gloves or you don't do this. You don't know what restaurants are doing. It's so many just behind the scene things that you don't know what restaurants are doing, like pizza. They don't wear gloves in pizza making.
They don't.
They don't wear gloves at all. And gloves are not always sanitized. You got micro holes in gloves. You sweat in gloves.
Something.
So, I mean, it's a lot that goes with cake baking. It's a lot that I can speak on, but, I can't speak on because, like I said, I'm a home-based baker. I can't speak on the commercial property and what they can do versus what I can do. I know what I can do in my house. I'm just selling you a cake because, that's what I do. But I can't speak on what commercial, what Publix or Walmart or, a bakery could do. So I'm just speaking on home-based bakers. A lot of people look down on home-based bakers just because they are home-based. And, a lot of people don't keep up their homes. I can't be specific on those things, but you have to be careful with what you buying and who you buying from.
You do, but we're going to talk about you because you clean.
Very well clean.
Very much so clean.
Very licensed.
Your kids clean.
Yeah.
Clean kid alert. Clean kid alert.
They don't
Shout
even
out to
be in
clean
the kitchen.
kids. Your kids clean. Your husband clean.
Mm-hmm.
And them cakes, they be clean.
Clean,
They
clean,
be clean.
clean.
You said something that is so powerful. You mentioned not being a professional. I just do what I do. And I think that that's a powerful statement because a lot of people, a lot of creatives specifically, struggle with imposter syndrome. Have you ever experienced that, and what are your tactics to make sure you overcome that so you can continue to be a baker? I don't care about the home commercial stuff. I care the fact that you bake cakes. That's all I can see is that you bake cakes, right? How do you overcome those thoughts when you have them?
I could honestly say I have never wanted to copy anyone or never wanted to, say, I want my stuff to look like theirs. What I can say, I have struggled with why am I at the level that I'm at, or why can't I, adjust what I'm doing to get those certain clients. I can say that. But what I can also say is I overcame that. Because as a self-employed person, as a, creator, you have doubts. You struggle every day. And it's very seasonal as well.
Amber, I can't let you go past that, love. Ooh, I almost felt my shundo. Come on, Amber, listen. You said you question why you. That is so real. So you say you don't struggle with that anymore, but you got to take us to that process, because I'm going to be real with you. I'm in there, like right now. Like, whoa, wait, hold up, God. Really? Like, this don't even make sense?
Right.
How? Why are you using this? I thought it was going to be a hobby. I didn't really think, why am I even doing this? This don't even make sense.
Right.
Like, I didn't go to school for this necessarily.
That's that part there. I didn't go to school for this. I didn't go to school for this.
I'm not the professional. I'm not this, I'm not that. I'm like, okay, so what do you do? What have you done to keep yourself away from those thoughts? I'm not gonna say, I don't know. I'll be like good one moment, and then it's like sneak up on me the next moment.
It's seasonal. It's very seasonal. What I can say I have started to do was narrow down my creation, like my mainstream. Because as you know, and as you introduced me, I am a cake designer. I do event decorating as well. I did treats. I sold on the side of the road. I did pop-up shops. I did all those things. But how can I express myself in all of those things if I'm not just mainstreaming one thing? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, if I want to do cakes, I need to just do cakes. I can't be a cake maker, treat maker, event planner, all those things. Now, I have a sister company, which is my event decorator, but I had to start saying cakes is what I want to do. That's what I want to mainstream.
And
so
being okay with it.
Being okay with it. Because if somebody come up to me and say, hey, I want you to decorate, I'm not going to turn it down, but I'm going to offer my cakes.
I was just about to say, so how do you do that? Do you say, okay, the way you get me to decorate is ordering my cake?
Well, no. See, I only do that with treats. So that's a good point. So I only do that with treats. So if somebody say, hey, I need a dozen of treats, well, I don't sell treats separately. You have to purchase a cake. Another thing I did struggle with was saying no. Like, you just have to be okay with saying no. If I got 10 orders that week and you want a cake and treats and this and that, I can't be available for treats, cake, and decorating. I just had to be okay with saying I can't take any more orders. So that was a big struggle for me. And then another struggle for me was also just being patient, waiting my turn and saying, like, okay, yes, I do look at other, bakers and, them is seeding. Of course, all of us who create does that,
Yeah.
Somebody is seeding. You want to know what can you do to get to that level.
Yeah.
But I just had to be patient and wait my turn, especially with working with celebrities and how all that started. I'm just going to tell you, I was in a really, really quiet place. I'm not going to say a dark place, but quiet place for my business. It was my quiet season. I had just stopped working because I was working a full-time job while baking cakes. But I had just stopped working, and then I had a major surgery. And when I had that major surgery, it was like God set me down and said, all right, it's time to talk. COVID hit, of course.
Yeah.
And when I say you have to work within your avenue, because I'm doing pictures for kids. I was also doing events for kids. If you bake cakes, you want people to know that you bake cakes, but you don't want to be left behind. So I was like, well, I'm not making any money with just baking cakes, so let me do something else to make some money. So that happened, but God set me down. I'm talking about He put a whipping on my spirit. I'm not even playing with y'all. I never stopped telling this story.
Tell it.
I never stopped telling this story. I saw you had Kayla here.
Yes, I did. I love her.
About 2 weeks ago. And me and Kayla, we were very acquainted. She invited me to church. And this was, so I had my surgery, I want to say 2024? It was 2021. 22, one of them years. Anyways, I had my surgery. It was whatever year. But I was just in a quiet place with my business. It was June, matter of fact, when I had my surgery. My recovery time was 6 weeks. After that 6-week period, of course, if I'm not doing something for that month, how can I do something for the next month? So I was like, I can't force myself to get up and try to, start baking again. So what can I do? Well, anyways, Kayla reached out to me and a couple of more other people. I'm not just going to say me specifically. Well, she reached out to me.
When she reached out inviting folks to church and it was a whole bunch of, I remember that.
She reached out to me and I took on the offer because I wasn't struggling with my religious life. I wasn't struggling with my spiritual beliefs, but I was struggling with going to church, finding a stable church home. And, you know, of course, we want to blame COVID for saying that's why we're not in church, because church is just different now. But I struggled with going to church, and I started, you know, just not going, just saying I can get church at home. I believe in God. He know my heart, this and that. But anyways, Kayla invited me to church, and God put a whipping in my spirit. He told me I was selfish. He told me I was feeding an empty womb. He was just the things that Apostle Davis was prophesying about. Everything that he was prophesying about, he whooped me with them words, because I needed to hear that. I grew up in church.
Yeah.
It's no reason why my kids weren't in church, why us as a married couple wasn't in church. I'm not gonna say we didn't go to church, but it was nearly about 3 times we had went to church that year. And all the other Sundays it was just at home, and it was ridiculous. So how can I want a business? How can I want seeds of life? And
I am about to walk off this set.
And I'm not doing anything to get those things.
Desiree, I'm going to pause on Amber right now because I am about to throw something at her. I am about to walk off this set because you are on a topic. You are on a topic that is really near to my heart, because a lot of people say, I always tell this story. My coach was like, we were in like a marketing session or whatever, and she was like, "Oh, Jessica, what you sell?" Like, da da da. And I was like, "I don't know. Like, I'm trying to figure it out." She was like, "Why don't you just sell Jesus?" I don't like. Why would you put that on me? Like, what that look like or whatever? But this what it looked like. And so because I've honored God in church, I can honor God outside of church is somewhere we're equipped. And it's like you can't anoint what you do without going to the storehouse.
Exactly.
Like, we try to do it backwards, and then what are we when we don't go to church? Normally, we don't do it. Tithe.
Yeah.
Normally, that goes together.
That's another thing.
And so, like, for people, let's tap into that. For people that are in that stage of, I don't think I need church. I don't think church is a big deal, or why is church a big deal? What would you say to them, and what made I know they say whipping, but some of my people don't understand the whole whipping thing, or they think they can't hear God, or when they hear something, they're questioning if they're hearing God. Like, can you take us back to that place and really talk about how that impacted you, not only you, your family?
Well, I'm gonna say this. It's an old saying: if you can't sleep at night, God is trying to talk to you.
That's an old saying.
That's a very old saying. So if you tossing and turning every night, just go to God in prayer or listen to what he's trying to say. But honestly, when I say he put a whipping on my spirit, because I needed that. A spiritual whipping is not just saying like he put me through trauma and it affected me. That's like good. He literally like said, what I've been trying to tell you, I'm gonna let human man tell you so you can hear it. So that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what I manifested. Let me tell y'all how I got in touch with Queen Leora. One day I was just, in bed. The surgery I had was a hysterectomy surgery. So, of course, I was bedridden for, a while. But I reached out to Queen Leora, in specific of just sponsoring like her baby shower cake.
Right.
All right. So, these days we're big on manifesting. We're big with vocalizing how we manifest. So that was manifestation for me, just reaching out to her. I was like, she probably not going to, that girl got like 1,000 other people writing her. She's not going to write me back. Well, I did that, and I went into prayer. Next thing I know, she wrote me back. So it was after that church thing, not even say church thing, but that spiritual whooping happened. I can't honestly say if you're struggling with, going to church or just knowing what the Lord is saying to you, just listen. Take the time out to listen. You don't have to listen to him. You don't have to go in the Bible and just look for a specific scripture. Sometimes, just as we're speaking to each other, I have had so many talks with people, and I'll have went into prayer and said, hey, Lord, this, that, and the third, and then the next person I talk to will come and say what I just prayed for. So sometimes it's just a small ear or a small word that gets you through to what the Lord has been trying to, reveal to you. It's hard out here trying to, be an entrepreneur, trying to be a human, trying to be an adult. Just being of this world is hard. Yeah. But you need God, and you can't get away from that word. I'm not going to say I veered away from it because it's in me, but it had to show on me.
It wasn't priority.
It had to be a priority.
And I think that is where a lot of people are, because what church does is it's a community. It's like being a part of sorority,
it's a domino
fraternity.
effect also.
Yes. So it's like being around like-minded people. Just like you said you follow different bakers or anything. You're not doing it to compare, but doing it to be in the community so you can always be developing, sharpening your gifts. There's always different skills to be learned. People are elevating. I mean, even let's talk about basketball so I can sound smart a little bit. Even the game of basketball or any sport, rather, there's always different techniques, even coaching tools or anything like that. These kids not the same, or these people not the same. We're always evolving. Things are always being passed down. And so what church is this community where as we evolve, there's a community that can support. Thank you, Holy Spirit. There's a community that can support you in that. And so basically what I heard was that I was good with God. I was good with the word, but I wasn't good with the support. And you needed the support.
You know what? You pulled it out of me, because I had a church home, but Refresh wasn't my church home. I was actually a member of another church, and it's no disrespect to that. That was a home church. That was a family church. I had to find my own path. I had to find my own path for my own family. So being a part of Refresh, and it was just like, all right, in order for you to evolve as a person, as a woman, and as a holy figure, go to on your own path with life. Go to your own path with your own church. So when I found Refresh, we joined New Year's, and the day she invited me, it was like it had to be wintertime. So I joined like 2 months afterwards, after that invite.
Because you felt full.
I was very full. He nurtured me that day, and I couldn't turn away from it. I could not turn away from that. It was just something that, and every day it continued reveal. Even in my household, my children love going to it, but not only that, within my marriage, it's revealing. We're maturing. We're developing. It's blossoming. So the seed that I was sowing, like you said, I didn't have that support. I'm not gonna say I didn't have that support, but it wasn't for me at the time.
Well, this is Amber. You are freeing somebody today. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Like y'all don't know, she bakes. She don't do too much talking, and she poetic with her words, written words. So this is good. So the support. You have to be supported by people who can manage supporting you. I am not going to get Coach Saban to teach me how to play basketball. He can't support me being a basketball player. Right. I'm calling your husband. Shout out to Coach. He in the building. Okay. I couldn't let that slide. Okay. Shout out clean. Coach be clean. Coach Jones be clean. All right. Back to the program. Y'all gotta listen. He in here supporting his wife. Okay, so let's I don't know. Bless God for that. I received that in the spirit. All right. But the support has to match the need. Ooh, listen. I felt my shondo come on. Okay,
not the good ones.
The support has to match the need, and you needed support in something you had never seen before. You needed support in somewhere you had never been before.
Right.
And if I hear you correctly, I don't know if you've ever been in a space where you've seen entrepreneurs thrive, right? We see in our culture, because we're from the same side, what I see more of is our wonderful friends doing it and not our beautiful friends. Right? Our beautiful friends were saying, hey, I got to get this job. I got to work for this person. And our wonderful friends was like, I'm making these jobs.
Yeah.
I'm making it happen. Right? We didn't experience that. And so we had to get around some people that say, hey, I can support you because I've been there.
Right.
I can support you. I had to go to the podcast summit because I didn't have nobody to support me in that. Not to say people weren't doing it, but or people weren't the entrepreneurs, but in the lane that I'm in,
right.
I had to be supported. So that makes churches no different. It's not church. If the church is not working for you, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Doggone, people really
And don't
work
be
my
scared.
last
Don't be
nerve.
scared about going somewhere. Don't be scared about stepping out the box because, like I said, it was a family church, but family can stop you from doing a lot of things.
Amber, ooh, Amber, you want me to throw this pillow at you? You are talking good, woman
They
of God.
can.
Family will hold you back. The loyalty will hold you back.
That's the word. So we're gonna scratch family. We're gonna say the loyalty because I don't want anybody to say, well, she got problems with her family. Nope.
That ain't what she said though.
It is the loyalty. It will hold you back, and it did. When I broke loyalty and went to where I'm going, it made me bigger. When you're trying to develop in life, you have to expand. You have to expand. You can't be so in a small box. I was a Baptist church going girl.
Not a old Southern Baptist.
You tapping your foot. You making your own beat.
What did you tapping your foot,
And
Amber?
let me tell you something. Now when I get to church, I don't play with God. I tap my feet and I praise and I worship. Now I may not stand up. He may say slap your neighbor. I may not do that. But I don't play with the Lord. But one thing I can say was I was limiting myself and I'm not gonna say just because I was going to a small church, but it was because like sometimes I say out my mouth verbatim, I say, well, I don't like big churches. I'll say that. And that was wrong of me to say because now I go to a big church and I'm proud of the big church that I go to. And the reason I'm saying is because like I have went into doors that I never thought that I'd be in. Like in the beginning, we've been saying I've been a basketball player, I'm a mom. But who's to say I'm a celebrity cake baker? Like I have baked cakes for celebrities. I'm a celebrity cake baker.
Let them know.
Like I've baked cake. I have sat in kitchens of celebrities, like big time legends. And that's like little old me.
Shout out to Ricky Smiley because I saw you did that. I was
Smiley,
so happy when you did
Erica
that.
Dixon. I literally sat in that lady's house for about 2 hours. And it was just being acquainted with her, just, helping her, decorate, set up for her daughter. I was doing Imani's graduation cake. And, she was open. Like, it wasn't like, okay, you did what you were supposed to do, leave. She was very friendly. And I'm a shout out to her because she could have waved me off like, no, I don't want no pictures. She's a big time celebrity. Like, she's in blogs, news every day. Not only blogs and news, but the lady has a whole entrepreneurial line for herself. So, shout out to her. Not only her, I've done a lot, but Ruben Stutter, speaking with him,
the basketball girl, the one that's at LSU.
Well, Angel Reese, of
Thank
course.
you, because I don't know her name.
But yes, she's bringing out I'm not gonna say her, but just how women's basketball is going these days is what it used to be when I was playing basketball. So shout out to her. Shout out to many other college basketball players on that level. It's getting back to what we have. But I literally wrote her and said, "Hey, I'm trying to get you a cake. How can I get it to you?" She didn't write back the first time. The second time, the reason I wrote her is because she posted said she was gonna be in Atlanta. Well, Atlanta 2 hours away. Let me hop on this. Wrote her again. I said, "Hey, I'm trying to get you a cake for your birthday. How can I, get it to you?" She said, "Hey, text this number." And the number she gave me, I texted, wrote her, and it was actually Fly J's mom number.
That's the young chocolate lady.
Okay. She's a rapper.
She
Big Foe. Shout out to Big Foe. But I wrote her mom, and me and her mom was very sweet, very accommodating. Got the cake down there to her, and she texted me back and gave me some inspirational words, telling me how good the cake was, stay a course of what I'm doing. I've just literally stepped in doors that I've never seen myself. I couldn't imagine myself doing this. Now, I knew I was going to be big. Not with cakes, just as a person.
No matter what I did, it was going to be major.
It was going to be major. I don't talk. I'm not a big talker. I can write you, and it can be deep. But I'm not a big talker, but I can't honestly say I'm starting to be more confident in myself because, I have to do that, especially with the level that I don't know where I'm trying to go in life. I can't say that. As an entrepreneur right now, I want to do cakes, but I don't know where cakes is going to lead me to. But it has led me into a situation that I can see myself being a travel cake baker, with celebrities, or just, continue to doing what I'm doing. I can sell a cake from home all day. I'm fine with that. As long as I'm able to get to my kids, my husband, and still live the lifestyle that I want to live, I'm fine with that. But I want to do it the right way. So now what I'm trying to do is make sure that I'm doing everything the right way.
Yeah.
You know, just because I have a gift, you know, we of the earth. So we got to do it right. So I want to make sure, you know, my license stay up to date. I want to make sure that, you know, I'm paying my tax, you know, doing those things. So everything is just falling in line, following the course. But like I said, when I started to obey and I started to walk the path that the Lord said I was, like, I'll never forget, me and Rick, Mr. Smiley, that's what I call him. We were sitting in his living room. We was talking, and I said, he was saying, you know, what did you do? I said, I used to play basketball. Of course, it's going to be the first thing that I speak of because that's what I used to do.
Yeah.
I said, but I went to school. I was an artist. And I said, you know, God, you know, he works in funny ways because Ricky Smiley had just sat there and said, this is art, you know, what you're doing, this is art. And I said, well, you know, just for you saying, I said, God works in mysterious ways because I actually went to school and I took art. That was my major. And he was like, well, he said, God led you down another path to do art. He said, because this right here, what you're doing is art. And I was just simply decorating his table. Like, I wasn't doing that big, but in his hindsight, that was big to him. That was
big
art.
to me. Who gonna decorate?
Yeah.
Not me. I can't decorate for nobody. I can't even decorate an outfit. This you gonna get.
That's
okay?
true.
I think it's beautiful.
Right.
Cause first of all, you gotta have so much patience. You gotta focus in. My creative mind go everywhere. I don't know how to slow it down. Like, I don't know how to slow it down just yet. But decorating, patient, poised, and creative, like using it, man, girl, that's not little. That table was beautiful. I remember that table. The proof is on. You might have to scroll down a little bit. I think it was November, wasn't it? Thanksgiving.
Year before
And he
last.
put it on his page too.
Right.
And if you follow her, she might have it on her page, like a snippet of it.
Yeah.
Baby went to the house to decorate. First of all, folks got money. Who decorating for Thanksgiving?
Exactly.
But that's your listen. She got paid for that gig. She was anointed for that gig. I ain't mad at it.
It's all about networking too, because somebody actually referred me, like one of my clients that I did a cake for and decorated for them, which is she's acquainted with, you know, some of his people. So she referred me, and you know, that happened like out of nowhere. And you have to always be ready. That's another thing. You got to be ready with just being an entrepreneur. You can't say, yeah, I do cakes, and then a celebrity or somebody reach out to you and you can't say, well, I don't have
You get the
a cake.
opportunity and you be like, oh no, I'm scared.
I had to jump on it.
Listen.
Yeah, I can do it. Let me call up who I rent from. Let me hurry up and get on it. Give me about 10 minutes. I'll be back with you. Yeah, I can do it. Don't worry about it. I got whatever you need. And I didn't have whatever I needed, but I was ready.
Listen, this is so good because people say it's like people feel like, oh, I'm better than this person, or because the comparison thing happen as much as we try to ignore it or whatever. But it's like, how are you getting in rooms? Not only do I have a gift, but I have willingness to attach to it. You've been saying, like, what people don't understand. I hope y'all are hearing this. She said the Angel
Reese.
Dude,
It's okay. It's all right.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Angel Reese.
I'm sorry. Help us. I'm trying to preach and get deep, but I contemplated the wrong name, okay? Angel Reese. Okay? That is so, I'm going to be 80 years old calling folks different names.
We mess up sometimes.
Oh, my gosh. Miss Reese was 2 hours away from you, and you were willing to go.
Right.
Ricky Smiley needed decorating, and you didn't have the materials, but you were still willing to go.
Right.
I can only imagine how many more stories you have
Lots.
where you didn't have at the time, but your willingness made room for you. Not just the gift, but her willingness. The gift is always going to go with where you go because you. But your willingness has to be there with it. So it's like the twin, where have you been situation. My willingness has to match the anointing or my gift, the expansion of it. Because once I become unwilling, the gift don't matter.
Right.
Y'all, I hope y'all hearing me good. Once your gift outweighs the willingness, it doesn't matter. So now, where does that willingness come from? We talking about the Lord, faith.
Right.
right? So now your faith can't get smaller unless you don't continue to build on what you've been already doing, Amber.
Right.
I'm just saying the churchy way, what you saying the hood way.
I was so tickled.
No, that is so powerful. So one of the things I really want to bring up while you're here, because you've talked about how important your family is to you, and I really think that you don't even realize how much you're breaking curses by doing it right.
That's true. I'm real big on saying we got to stop saying we're breaking generational curses, and I'm not, saying that to you, but I'm just saying it as a society, because I always look at it the fact our parents did the best that they could when they could. If you had a traumatic experience, I'm sorry. Well, my mom did the best she could. So I can't say I'm breaking a generational curse, but I can say I'm opening doors for them that my mom couldn't open for me. Because my mom was a single parent. I came from a single parent household, no father figure, but God kept me in a path and I didn't stray. One thing I can say that I did as a child and as a teenager, I always kept the Lord first. Everything I did. If we in the car, we listen to gospel music as a teenager.
Yeah.
I was real OCD. I got to read my scripture in the morning, and that's what I meant when I say I lost my path, leading to my adult, life. However, but as far as generational curses, I'm not breaking them because I don't really have curses on my life, but it stopped when it got to me, when it got to certain things that I could not do, being able to afford certain things. So now my kids, I still can't afford certain things, but what happened is I'm walking in doors that they will be able to walk in when they get older, but those doors will be so much bigger. But just saying, like, when I went down those roads, just saying when I went to Atlanta or Mississippi or Tennessee, those things, I probably had $50 in my pocket to go take those people their cake.
Get real.
That was free. Those were sponsored. They didn't pay me. I'm not going to say all of them didn't pay, but majority of them wasn't paid for. It was just to get my name out there. Those were free. So just to say my kids can say, my mom did a cake for Angel Reese. My mom did a cake for Ricky Smiley. Those are opening doors for them that they'll never be able to open. They'll be able to open, but it may not be with a cake. It may be with something else. But it may not be with a cake. So what I'm saying is I have been the first to do a lot of things in my family, and I'm grateful for it. The first to graduate from college. The first to do a lot. I can't even think, but just to say I've been the first to just say it stopped when it got to me. Curse. As far as we want to say generational curses, just saying a black shadow or a black cloud over, my family, I can't say I broke that. So that's the only generational curse.
So while you were talking, this is so good. And I'm glad you challenged me on it, right? This is so good. Because even while you were talking, this is what I heard. That sometimes we can limit the generational curses and blessings to our bloodline. And I need you to understand how big you are, Amber. And I'm finna tell you. Because I know you confident, but I'm finna boost it up a little bit more.
Okay.
Sometimes we when we hear the older people say, oh, this generation don't do this and this generation don't do this. So when they're talking about the generation, they're talking about an age group. They're talking about the surroundings. They're talking about the people that we fellowship with.
Right.
When I say, and thank you, Holy Spirit, when I'm saying that, I'm not even just talking about your family. I'm talking about your peers. I'm talking about your church members. I'm talking about the people that see you grinding and seeing the fruit of your labor.
Gotcha.
When I say that you're breaking that, because it is a curse, like it curses, and maybe it's an infection. We'll compare it into an infection,
Gotcha.
right? And the territories that we have come from, that we have grown up around, to cure the infection, you got to see something different.
Right.
You're that cure.
I appreciate that.
No, I mean that. Like, I ain't even saying that just to be nice. Because seeing what you do, and you welcome. I'm sorry, that was so rude.
No. I'm definitely appreciative of that.
But you're that cure. And if we can have more Ambers, if we can have more even Jasmines, even for her to go back to, Fairfield where she played, to be coaching, like that's a cure. And sometimes we manifest and we focus so much in on the disease and not the cure.
Right.
And baby, Amber Jones, aka the Cake Lady. Because it's Sweet Jones, ain't it? Right. We have not said it.
Sweet
y'all
Jones.
need to know where y'all can go get these cakes from. The Sweet Jones.
Sweet Jones.
aka the Cake Lady. aka the Cake Lady. So that's what I heard when we were talking about the generational curses. As far as your family, I know we were talking about your faith, and I think you touched on it a little bit when we were talking about the curses. But as far as let's even talk about your daughter and how you're even seeing her develop a love or a passion for, basketball specifically, because that's what I see online, but even maybe doing something else. How do you feel like that's impacting her, and how do you feel like because of your experiences, you're able to give her a better outlook on like her passion and dream about even basketball?
Just to touch bases back on generational curses, a situation happened, I would say about 2 weeks ago at her game, where the coach said something kind of that I didn't like, and it kind of triggered me because it was said to me also as a child. I mean, as a teenager when I was playing basketball. Well, I could have been a curse on her by saying, "You're not playing for him anymore. We don't. I could have just stopped her all the way from playing, but I talked to her. As parents, we do a lot of things. This generation, we do a lot of talking versus just ripping the Band-Aid off. Say you ain't being authoritative to say because we got authority, we gonna take you off this thing. But I actually talked to her, so I can say honestly, she's going through what I went through at an early age, and I'm being smart about it. And I thank God that He's given me the discernment of don't affect her life because of what you went through as a ball player. So everything she's going through as a ball player and everything she's developing, she's doing it on her own. I'm just I'm not coercing her to say this is how you do it. This is how I did it. Be like me. Never. I don't want her to be nothing like me. Be your own person. And she looks up to me. She want to wear my shoes. She want to wear my clothes. She want to know what number I was because she want to wear that number. I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be 10 times better than me. It's sell. Go to higher levels that I could not go. Like I said, my biggest dream was to be in the WNBA.
Yeah. She
wants to be in the WNBA. And the path that girls basketball is on in this generation, right now she has the ability to play overseas and do many things. With the skill level, my daughter is just in the 5th grade. The skill level will develop in her right now she surpassed girls her age group. She's about your height, a little under you.
No.
She's tall. She's tall.
She's
She's my height, literally my height, in a size 6 and a half. In the 5th grade.
Because I was surprised that you said she was in 5th grade. I was like, dog, I thought she was a little older than that.
No. She's just in the 5th grade. And she's playing on she plays with 6th and 7th graders. So she's doing good. Like I said, to speak about generational curses in the circle of life, I'm just not trying to be that parent. I'm not saying I'm strict, but I'm a non-tolerance parent when it comes to just these kids getting away with not being held accountable, not knowing right from wrong. I'm not the type of parent, especially with females. And I have a son. I got 2 girls and 1 son, and I just don't play those games. I'm very old school, but I don't play games. But I also do things differently. Like I'm a tolerate a few things more than mama tolerate. But I'm not with that soft parenting and stuff like that. But she's surpassing me right now in basketball. I can't honestly say that.
You said that in such a healthy manner.
Oh, very much. I don't want to be that parent to ever say, my child is going to be like me because I did it this way. Me and her dad are teaching her, but I don't want us. I always tell my daughter, I don't want our voices to be the only voices you learn from.
That's so powerful.
That's not the way of life, because you're going to have many coaches of life. You're going to have many scenarios that you go through. Like, not just her, but all of my kids are engaged with basketball. They love basketball. My mama did not put on me that you had to play a sport in order to succeed in life. She didn't say, well, pick up a ball and do this. So that's not what I forced my girls or my boy to do. Just because, we're, beautifully black, we have that advantage of playing sports. No, I didn't say that. But they just naturally developed the habit of playing sports, playing basketball. And once she said, hey, Mom, I want to play basketball, let's go, let's do it. Of course, I started to train her, but I didn't train her in a way of, you're going to do this. I demand you to do this. No. To this day, she have her attitudes about certain things. She don't, some days I don't want to work. Some days I want to I just want to be a kid. What, be a kid? I can't fuss at you you're just in the 5th grade. Yeah. So she's surpassing me. And I'm proud to say, like, she's gonna have a name both by high school. She's gonna have a big name.
That's so good. I think that's even healthy because not even just the parent that's overly assertive in that area, but even being like the fact that you said she's gonna be better than you, and you say it in such like a real, truthful, humble manner, because I've heard, I've been around people that said their family, their own mom, told them that they would never be better than them, and that's painful.
I couldn't imagine.
Like, I'm carrying it for 30 years, and that's always in the back of my mind. So I'm always trying to prove that theory wrong, and try to say, okay, it's not that I'm trying to be better than you, but I'm trying to be valuable. I'm trying to be an asset. Girl, you better twin. Where have you been?
Yes. No, I couldn't imagine. I now, one thing I do get him, like I said, I'm not an emotional person. It takes a lot for me to cry. I probably can carry tons of bricks on my back and don't fall. But when it comes to those kids, that's a different type of parent. That's a different type of person. Like, woof. I never thought I'd shed a tear, but when it comes to my kids, like, I'll shed many tears. I understand why Jesus wept when it comes to kids. Like, so, no, I have a different tolerance level when it comes to just mankind about children. So, my kids are I may fuss, I may curse. Lord knows I curse.
Yeah. You ain't the only one. I'm still getting baptized in the cleaning of my tongue.
Yeah.
That's right. Early today, girl, I was like, "Ooh, I gotta get this hood out of me real quick." Cause
I wouldn't even say it's just vocabulary, like it's lingo. Like, I'm okay with cursing. Like, it's healthy.
I'm trying. It slipped out too easy for me.
As long as you're just not going to curse everybody out.
No, not that. But I was cussing like more than. So for me, cursing, it's interesting that we're getting to this subject right now. But cursing for me, and I think it is for anybody different. I think that cursing is language, blah blah blah. I say hood just to be funny, but for me, because of where I want to be and where I'm going, I use cursing because I can't find another word. And I personally challenged myself to literally find other words so I can make sure that I'm not offending anybody when I'm talking to them. But if I'm around certain people that don't get offended, okay, cool. But even them, it's like I want to always be evolving with my vocabulary. Right. And not limiting myself with frustrating anger words.
Just gotta know your surroundings.
Don't be triggered. Yo, Desiree, she been talking real good, like super good. Okay, I think I learned a lot today. I definitely learned, and I'm gonna tell you something I'm taking with me from this whole conversation. Earlier, you brought up the fact that the way you bake, how you get your taste is just you follow instructions, and then when you allow yourself to use your creativity for the look, the design, right? That freed me right there, because what I heard was I put my focus in what I'm good at, and I allow the other things just to be.
Right.
And I think, like, why, in my mind, I'm like, girl, why wouldn't you try different recipes? Why wouldn't you do this? Why? Because you the cake lady. He was like, and you kept, and I heard you, and I'm just coming back to it. I'm like, oh yeah, she baked cakes. No, you're a cake designer.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put some respect on your name. Like, you didn't niche all the way down, and I'm gonna receive that for myself because it's just like being in this lane where, like I said earlier, we haven't had the opportunities traditionally to see different things, being exposed to different things, and be able to niche down, right? I think that's a scary thing, but you're doing it so boldly. Because it's easy to say, oh, I bake cakes.
Right.
It's not easy to say that I design cakes. It's like, how you going to design a cake and not bake it? It's like, but you kept me on that tip. And I'm like, I can't let her miss out that I learned a lot. And that is my biggest takeaway.
Okay.
That is my biggest takeaway. That's why you are the cure. You are the cure, girl. I enjoyed this conversation, and
I did too.
I appreciate you for allowing me to be, your first talk show. And stuff
I
like that.
Look, I feel like I can talk to anybody now.
Well,
No, I'm just playing.
look, you ain't gonna be comfortable with nobody.
Ooh,
like that?
child.
We're gonna have to do this again.
Because
so
this mic, I'm so ready to just.
but you did a good job.
I appreciate
You did a good job. This is a safe space, right? And
I felt very comfortable. I did.
Tell the folks you felt comfortable.
I felt very comfortable, and I'm super proud of you.
Thank you.
Look, I tried to do much research before I came because you could follow someone on Facebook, social media, and you could also lose sight of what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, like the times that we have been acquainted and met, like this is your path. So I'm very proud of you. And this is not normal in Birmingham. Like a lot of people are not sitting here doing entrepreneurs, talking to them, getting to know them, or just in this setting. And this is, like you said, a safe zone. So I'm very grateful that we actually had the time to do this.
Yeah.
This is well needed. This is something that I needed to do also, to step out my comfort zone, because I also made a goal and said, I'm going to start getting on Facebook Live. I said this.
Oh, hold up. Yeah, you getting this right. It's still recording? Okay.
I said this.
Coach, you here?
Every
Okay.
Friday. No, I said every Thursday I was going to get on Facebook Live and start doing like tutorials and telling what I'm doing with my cakes and things. And I did it, I can say honestly, 4 times and haven't done it anymore. And the reason why, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be real about it. 2 reasons why. I hate the way I talk. That's one. I mean, I'm just going to be blank. Like, I hate the way I talk. I say I sound like mush mouth sometimes. But that's just a confidence thing that I continue to develop and get over with. Secondly, when you're getting on there and you're doing stuff that you do in your comfort, your lane, it's always somebody who got something negative to say. And somebody did have something negative to say. Something about something simple as, I was just showing, I wasn't touching anything, but I was just showing something that I had created. And they came back and told my mom she needs to wear gloves. And that rubbed me wrong. But you know what? This is how funny God is. The same person who said that, I turned around and did a cake for their family member. And they wind up eating the cake. And I made sure I told their family member to tell them I didn't wear gloves.
Petty LaBelle. It's the pettiness for me. I love
she
it.
was gonna say to tell them that
I
she
knew it
wore
was
gloves.
coming. No. I knew that was coming. Come on.
No.
By the way,
Wait.
I touched all over
So
that cake.
Amber is also a slick comedian. I'm so weird.
Because
thought you was gonna
listen,
say
sometimes you have to address things that bother you, because as you said, as an entrepreneur, especially when you're being a content creator, you have to be mindful of what you do on the camera. Mm-hmm. But you also have to be mindful that we are human.
Yeah.
Everything that doesn't need to be said.
Yeah.
And everybody can't tolerate everything that's being said. I may could tolerate it, but I had to be petty in that moment because it was comical, and it was also the fact that you never know who you're gonna get something from.
Yeah.
And how they gonna, anyways, I just had to be petty.
No, that girl, that was so good. That even the pettiness was good. But I want to challenge you. Like, go live.
I will.
It's no reason. I mean, excuse me. It's no reason why you shouldn't. It's really no reason why you shouldn't. I used to get on myself about that as well. And just a transparent moment, I can feel you. Like I feel like I sound like a man.
I know
Like,
my voice deep.
I'm like, I just feel like I sound like a man. I feel like I don't pronounce my words right. I feel like I don't comprehend. I feel like I got ADHD, so I don't. How am I interviewing people? Let me tell you this. Oh, girl, I'm trying to end it, but you just keep pulling on me. So watch this. Corporate America, right? So I had this job. I'm gonna have to tell this story soon. Had this job. They told me for years. They've been telling me for years that I do not interview well. Right? You get all nervous and stuff like that. And yeah, I get nervous. Like, because I got nervous and messed up on the interview because I was trying to be something that I felt like you wanted me to be. Not really who I am want to be. So a few of them have watched the podcast. And these not just my coworkers, these higher ups. Like, they love me or whatever, but I just couldn't get past the interview. Right? Fast forward, I get this podcast. I don't understand why, Jessica can't be the same person that she is in the interview that she is on her platform. Well, for one, it's her platform, so she can be who she wants to be, right? And then two, I was not authentically being myself. So when I had this last interview that I had, you got to give them the deets. I'm gonna give y'all the deets on this a little bit more. But I changed jobs or changed positions. So I basically demoted myself in the company so I can make more opportunity for this by the obedience of God, right? And during the interview process, I had 2 interviews. And the lady came back and told me, because one of the things in my job, they give us feedback on everything that we do. And I was waiting for the feedback. She was like, we want you. You're so optimistic. I loved your answers. I loved your examples, X, Y, and Z. I mean, she just raving. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the negative. I was like, she didn't give me nothing. So she ended up calling me back for something else. And I said, ma'am, can you give me my feedback for my interview? And she was like, you did amazing. I don't have anything to correct you on. So I'm like, so somebody lying. Like, somebody lying, because I'm the same chick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I answered the questions the same way. I just had kind of structured it better a little bit, had proper examples, but it's like same chick. But I was lit. What I'm telling you is, it's interesting that the thing that they say that I'm bad at, I actually have to do. So I was nervous to do the Tabitha Browns. I'm nervous to go to Atlanta to the podcast. I'm nervous. I don't think I speak well. I don't think I sound well. But guess what? Guess what else can't take away from me? My experience.
Right.
Being chosen.
Right.
And I'm sitting here telling you the cure, Amber. How you gonna be the cure and you ain't curing? Yeah. The people gotta hear your voice. That's true. It says the sheep hear my voice and they come running, right? The shepherd, when Jesus is our shepherd, all of our shepherd, right? But there are even shepherds here on earth, like you were talking about Apostle Davis. You are attracted to his voice because you are his sheep. That's true. There are sheep waiting for you to activate your voice.
Right. You speaking. I'm listening.
I know. I'm gonna tell you because I'm gonna text you. And I'm gonna be like, hey, it's Thursday.
I'm so tickled.
Kayla, just like how you be in my inbox, I need you in her inbox because she the truth.
She definitely will text. She
Yeah.
definitely will.
So live on Thursdays, what we calling it? Is it some sweet joke? Thursdays.
I did give it a name. What did I say? Ow.
Coach, what she said? Because I know you can't remember.
He don't listen sometimes.
But
I did. I actually gave it a name on live. I have to go back and look because I didn't delete unless they deleted themselves. But I did give it a name.
So I look forward to seeing you on Thursdays, live on Thursday. What time can we expect you?
It varies.
It's varies.
It's gonna vary. I can't say I'm gonna be on there every Thursday specifically because sometimes I may not have orders every week, or I may get busy with doing something. So it just depends. It's another thing with being disciplined. If I say I'm gonna do something, I gotta do it. So right now, what I'm working on is being disciplined in my word, and I'm actually being disciplined in my word, like devoting myself to God every day. This is something I have never done. So Every day I'm in the Word. I'm devote. Kids can't talk to me until I do my scripture. I'm in my Word every day. So
I love that.
I'm working. The more I become developed in business, the more I become developed as a person. If I want a certain thing, I'm working on doing that certain thing. One thing a day, just in that instance, just do that one thing. Because if I don't, like you said, I get sidetracked too.
Yeah.
When it comes to business, I do got ADHD because I could be talking to one customer and then I'm at basketball practice.
Yeah.
So, because I'm a busy woman.
You are. You a whole mother. Like, you got 3 kids and a husband. Hello. That's by itself.
Ooh.
And then you talking about some entrepreneur. Child, talk about busy. So I want to give you this space because I want to make it very, because we talked about a lot of things that I'm just like, wow. Not surprised about the conversation, but just thank God for the conversation because I know it's going to bless somebody. So if there's one thing that you would want to leave with people out of everything that you said today, what would that one thing be?
Know your season. Know your season of life. As a business person, of course, we're talking about business. As a business person, you know, you're going to be very inconsistent with business. You're going to have ups and downs, but don't get down on yourself. Consistency is key. Not practice makes perfect. Consistency makes perfect. Know your season. It may not be your season. Those people who are elevating, it may be their season. But know your season and know when it's time for you to elevate. If you try to elevate during a season that's not for you, you're going to get rejected. You're going to get down. You're going to get depressed. And you may not want to come back after that. But know your season. And when it's your season, take off after that. Take off.
Hey. That was good.
Oh, I thought you was going to say,
no,
because
no,
you say
no.
A and then.
No.
Oh, okay.
That A was an amen.
Hey, oh, okay. Y'all, this has been good. It's good. It's good season, Birmingham. If y'all ain't paid attention, if nobody else doing it, she said just ask is exposing the good grounds on here. So I'm excited. Amber, y'all gonna see her. If I get a cake, y'all already know who I'm calling. Yes, I am biased, so don't even try it. Coach, thank you for coming with your wife. Shout out to Coach. Desiree, it's good seeing you, as always. Y'all, until next week, life could be much more simple if you just ask. See y'all later.